What's going on, Muscle Monsters? Align Gonzalez here, and today I got a pretty badass video for you. Today I'm going to give you a very basic formula that you can use right now to figure out how many calories you should be consuming in order to build muscle. All right, now this is just going to be a starting point, and I'm going to show you how to adjust it accordingly. But I'm also going to go over each macronutrient, why it's important, and that way you kind of understand why your intake is going to look the way that it looks. All right? So without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's talk about protein. All right? Recent research, or I shouldn't even say recent, right? Research has just proven or shown that we don't really need as much protein as we once thought, right? So about 0.7 to 0.9 grams per pound of body weight for someone who is active will suffice, right? Now, this does not mean that protein intake is not important. It is actually critical for building muscle, because if we don't get enough protein, we don't build muscle at all, right? In order to build muscle, we must be in a positive nitrogen balance. What this means is that we are synthesizing more protein than we are breaking down. So even if we're in a caloric surplus, if we are in a negative nitrogen balance, we're not going to build muscle. All right, so as you can see, even though you don't need as much protein as you once thought, if you don't get enough, you won't build muscle. All right, fats. All right, these are responsible for our anabolic hormone balance, right? So if we're eating too little of fats, then that could hinder our hormone production, mainly testosterone, which is critical for building muscle, burning fat, and overall health in general. So it's essential that we get the essential fatty acids that we need in order to maintain a healthy hormone balance. Okay? And then carbs. Carbs are our main source of energy, right? They're stored in the muscle as glycogen, and then we use that for our performance in the gym. So if we're not eating enough carbs, we're not going to perform at our peak, we're not going to stimulate new growth, and we're not going to do enough to build new muscle. Despite having enough fats and enough protein, if we're not performing at our peak and stimulating new growth, then we don't build any new muscle. So it's critical that we get enough carbs to perform at our peak. All right, and that's the gist of it. Okay, now let's talk about how much. For protein, I like to be on the safe side. I know I said 0.7 to 9 or 0.9 grams per pound of body weight, but just to be safe, let's do 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, then you should consume 200 grams of protein per day to ensure that you are in a positive nitrogen balance, right? As far as fats go, I would start off at about 0.4 grams per pound of body weight, right? So just take your body weight, multiply it by 0.4, and this is in pounds, and that should give you a good starting point for your fat intake for the day. And then for carbs, they say 2 to 3 times body weight, so let's go right in the middle with 2.5 times your body weight in pounds, and that's the amount of carbs you should be consuming per day. Now, this is just a starting point. What I want you to do is I want you to follow this intake for a week, weigh yourself every day, and then get an average of your weight for that week. Do that again for another week with the same caloric intake. Now you're going to match the averages. If your weight went down, that means these calories have you in a deficit, so you should increase by about 100 calories. You can do that by increasing your carbs, your fats, or a little bit of both. That should then put you into a surplus. If you continue to track your weight, you should notice that your weight is now, or the average weigh-in is now going up. The same goes for if your average weigh-in is staying the same. That means you're at maintenance. So increase the calories slightly. That should put you in a surplus enough to build new muscle. Now, if you're already in a surplus, then you can continue to eat this amount of calories, track your weight, and don't adjust the calories until you have stalled. Once you've stalled, then it's time to increase the intake and repeat. All right? That's pretty much it, guys. It's really that simple. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, click the like button below. If you have any questions regarding this video, leave them down below and I'll be sure to answer them. Also, if you're looking for a full-on program, completely free, mass in a flash, down below, put your name and your email address. You'll get instant access to that. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.